It's a short story about a guy who got this close to marrying the wrong girl, but fortunately came to his senses at the 11th hour and got rid of her. And wait till you see all the manipulation tactics she pulls to try to get what she wants. And oh yeah, by the way, she is desperate need for a green card. Surprise, surprise. But fortunately, this guy handles things right in the end. And I've been going to go over here, guys, to make the point, never let anybody pressure you into marriage, ever. But the problem is, you get yourself so attached to someone and has such a scarcity mindset, you might do something stupid out of fear of, God forbid, being alone and losing the girl that you think loves you. But our guy here, thank the Lord, does the right thing. Title: I broke up due to a marriage ultimatum. Any thoughts are appreciated. And a shout out to AM for sending this story. Now listen to this. He says, I'm 34 years old and my ex is 31. I dated my girlfriend for about 2.5 years. It was a long distance relationship. Smack. Come on, dude. You're 34. It's not like you're in college and you were split up. Her at one college, you at another. Really? He says, I'm in Florida and she was in Massachusetts. But we made it work by seeing each other every 6 weeks. Why couldn't you have a girlfriend in Florida? There's pretty girls everywhere in Florida. What's the matter with you? Overall, we got along, but she had some warning signs. Aha! She was in the country illegally, expired visa, and I felt that this showed irresponsible behavior on her part. Irresponsible and illegal, and she's lucky it ain't. She's lucky this isn't happening. This is from I think this is from a few years ago. Somebody sent this to me, but worth me doing. If this was now, she'd been in deep trouble. Additionally, she was clear that she has abandonment issues based on an absent father. At my age, I've grown to understand that no one is perfect and you have to accept people's faults or else spend life alone. I overlooked her issues out of my belief that passing judgment on someone is totally unfair when I have my own problems to solve. Yes, nobody is perfect. I agree there. But the good has to always outweigh the bad. And I mean a lot, okay? But when somebody is in this country illegally, and is pressuring you to marry them to get a green card, then I tell you a few things about them, amongst many other things. Don't just accept someone. They got a bunch of major red flags just because, well, nobody's perfect. That mindset, that's going to get you nowhere. But pain. She asked me about marriage for almost the entirety of our relationship. What does that tell you, man? She wants a freaking green card. Don't be stupid. Part of it was about adjusting to her status so she could be here legally, and the other part was about her very clear desire to have kids and be a mother. You mean additional insurance policies have the kids in this country to help her stay here? Or to have some guy paying for her? Really, dude? Come on, Sherlock. I've always had reservations about marriage and family. I come from divorced parents, and I think that this has imparted a cynical view of marriage and child rearing onto me. You mean a realistic one? Conversely, I do feel that I would be a good husband and good father. I'm caring, I listen, and I have a decent enough career to provide material support. Why do you think she's with you, dude? Come on, think about it. And you only see her every 6 weeks? What do you think she's doing in Massachusetts? Do you think that she's just true and blue? Come on here. You're the guy that she was banking on to marry her. Meanwhile, she probably had fun with whoever up there. For my part, she felt like I was cold and that I wasn't doing enough to move our relationship forward. Oh, you're the bad guy. I didn't talk to my parents about us marrying, and I never made a genuine marriage proposal to her. Well, how could he? She was bringing up marriage every other fucking week. I could spend a long time figuring out why, but it was mostly because of my fear of the negative aspects of marriage. Disagreements, arguments, and a numbness based on detachment. This has always been my deepest fear about marriage, being inside of marriage but feeling alone. Well, a kid who grew up in a bad, unhappy household and eventually divorce happened, one can understand why he's this way. And you know what? Given what we all know about how things are today in this world, he's smart by not rushing into a marriage. Well, last week, she broke up with me. Her reasoning was that I hadn't shown enough initiative to move our relationship forward. She wanted things that she felt I would not give to her, mainly kids. I pleaded for her to change her mind, but she was steadfast. Smack! Pleaded. Come on, man. Again, back to being in Florida. There's plenty of good-looking women here. I've been here nearly 2 years. There's hot chicks everywhere. You had to get a long-distance chick who's here illegally from Massachusetts? Really, dude? And you're pleading not to break up? She was counting on this. This was on purpose, to give her leverage. One day later, she calls me on the phone having a panic attack. Oh, what a load of crap. I think that her abandonment issues kicked in and she lost it when she felt that I wasn't there with her anymore. The bitch broke up with you. This is her doubling down, trying a different tactic. I walked her through some breathing exercises and told her I didn't want to give up on us. She bought a plane ticket and came down here on Monday so we could get a license and get married. Well, she got what she wanted. Good job, dummy. We got a marriage license on Tuesday with the plan to do a courthouse wedding on Friday, and I had reservations all along the way, which I communicated to her. I told that I was nervous and that when I spoke to both my parents, they told me not to do it. A marriage shouldn't be rushed, and the wedding itself should involve family and friends. So his parents, who've been through this before, were telling him, don't do it. But this bonehead's attached to her and has a scarcity mindset, and she played him like a fiddle. But don't worry. Our guy will do the right thing in the end. Well, on Friday, she sat on my bed with our rings next to her and her bag packed. It was a now or never moment, and I chose not to go through with the wedding. Thank God. When I was first reading this, I'm thinking, holy crap, man, how does he bail at the last moment given his attachments to her? She screamed and asked me what was wrong with her. I don't know. Maybe that you're a manipulator. Maybe that you're full of crap. Maybe you're here illegally. Maybe you're using me. I can go on all day, sugar muffin. She called me a liar and a manipulator. Look in the mirror, honey. Pot calling the kettle black. She told me I didn't deserve to ever be happy, and I didn't have the right to play games with her. Again, pot calling the kettle black. I feel terrible because I meant the things I said to her. I did want to marry her, and I did want to have a family with her, but I also had some reservations, and I needed help to get over them. You had reservations. It wasn't just because of your bad childhood. You had reservations because things didn't seem right. Your gut was telling you something's off here, and that's why you didn't do it. And you were right. I think I'm just posting on this thread because I'm depressed without her now, and I need to know how other people see the situation. Did I make the right choice? Yes. Should I have taken that blind leap and hope for the best? No. Are you nuts? My positive side thinks that we could have worked out. There would be fights and disagreements, but I think she would have been a good wife and really good mother. No, she wouldn't have. She'd take it to the cleaners. My cynical side sees me being fed up with her over the long term. I think that her dramatic style would have worn me down and eventually led me to resent her because of how often I would have had to capitulate to her demands. There you go. You always caved to her demands, and she knew how to play you. Meanwhile, she'd marry this guy, get her green card, have children, not necessarily his children, but she'd have children, and therefore more insurance for her, and would stay with him, but probably cheat on him left and right. I guarantee that was going on up in Massachusetts while he was here in Florida, and eventually leave him in the dust. I'm sorry for all the texts and thanks in advance to anyone who wishes to offer some advice and or insight that I may be missing. Now I'll read some more things he posts in a second, but let me make it clear. So, believe me, he was a bonehead on so many fronts. But in the end, thank God, he did the right thing because he came this close. We're talking about the 11th hour here. But here's the thing, guys. There are women that deliberately want to marry you to get something from you, whether you be a provider, you provide them a green card to become citizens of this country. That happens a lot. All sorts of things. Be careful. And they will rope you in and get you attached. They'll find guys who they know aren't exactly James Bond rolling with the ladies, who they can easily rope in, then play with their emotions, toy with them like a little cat playing with a mouse until they get what they want. And if they don't get what they want, they're going to just mess with them and use gaslighting and tactics and everything like she was doing here. And it worked. She broke up with him. Oh no, what am I going to do without her? And then she calls about having a panic attack. Oh, come to Florida. We'll get married. It's exactly what she wanted. Probably the second she got the phone, she's like, that dumb motherfucker. Seriously, that's what they do. So be careful, guys. So I'm glad he, realized this. But even still, this guy's still vulnerable. Now, this is where things stand. Next week, she could show up at his house crying, and he may fall for it, but for right now, he did the right thing. So, good for him, but holy crap, this guy needs some serious work to learn why he has such attachment issues, why he was involved with a relationship with a girl, long distance for 2.5 years. He's 34 years old. He's got plenty of women around here. I mean, my God, around here, I'm like I'm acting like he's my neighbor, but I'm in Florida, so But seriously, now I'm gonna read one more thing he wrote. This is a response to somebody else because he was asking for help. And by the way, yes, dude, you did the right thing. And don't go back to her. She's using you. And get a girlfriend that's nearby after you work on yourself. He also says, thank you for your timely response to people that were answering him. I'm in therapy right now, just trying to dig deeper into my history of destroying loving relationships. Everyone, including my family, seems to think that I made the right decision, but it's really hard when I think about all the good times we had together. Yeah, and how many times were you together in all those years? Everybody else is telling you it was a good decision. Listen to them. I think that she fit the mold of what you said. She's more focused on marriage itself and not the actual work that goes into building a successful marriage. Thank you. She wants that green card, dude. She wants to be a U.S. citizen and have a provider. I want to believe that she loved me for me and wasn't solely focused on marriage for a green card. Smack. Wake up, dude. She had the chance to marry a friend of hers just to adjust her status, but I talked her out of it because she made it seem like if she married that friend, our relationship was over. See, she happily married another guy. I was desperate. Smack. Man should never be desperate. And I told her to wait for me. I felt very guilty about wasting her time, only to turn her down on the same day we were supposed to go out to get to the court and get married. When I told her that we should have a ceremony with our families, parents, instead of the courthouse, she freaked out and was totally unwilling to compromise. Perhaps this was a sign of how the marriage would have been. That's exactly how the marriage would have been, man. Anytime that I didn't cave into her demands, she would have thrown a hissy fit until she got her way. Probably not the best recipe for a solid marriage. Yes, exactly, man. So yes, you dodged a big one, but you got darn close. But if you're not careful and don't work on yourself, you're going to end up in a relationship like this. That close, you could have gotten into a marriage just like his parents. So there you go, guys. Be wary of the girls rushing you into a marriage. Be wary of the girls that are here illegally and trying to get a green card. There's going to be a lot of that now. But, they're in for a surprise for the next 3.5 years. So anyhow, there you go, guys.